Bum-ba-da-da! Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you enjoyed that rendition of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I'm teaching the final instrument solo in this series. We've done mandolin, we've done guitar. They're up on the website. We're going to do banjo today. I'm going to attempt to play and teach it as good as Banjo Billy just performed it. I don't know if I can hold up to his standards, but if you'll go to the website, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, here in a little while I'll ask you to go to the website and you can download the tabs for this song. And I also have lots of other Christmas songs on there. I have Silent Night for guitar, Joy to the World for all instruments. I've got Oh Come All You Faithful for banjo. So you can just search for Christmas and all those will pop up. And it also makes a great Christmas gift to be a member at BanjoBenClark.com, where we put out videos like this each and every week so you can learn. But you can download the tab in PDF form or in a TEF file format. But right now we're going to jump right in to measure one of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. All right, Banjo Billy's gone off the deep end. At least he dressed up a little bit for this one. And I want to show you how to play this. A couple things before we start. One is, if you'll notice there beneath the tab, I've got all the fingerings, those are the right hand fingerings, in circles beneath each one of the notes. And those in the slower part can be somewhat subjective, just meaning that if you feel like you want to use a different finger than what's marked, then go right ahead. But those are the ones that I use. We're going slow enough to where you can really almost pick it all with one finger if you wanted. Of course, when we get into the Foggy Mountain breakdown part, things are going to change. It's going to go into double time, and your fingerings really matter there. But the other thing I'd like to say, just as I've said when I taught the mandolin and the guitar versions, is that we're looking for fluidity in our playing. Okay, we're looking for what's called legato playing. Okay, that's a fancy Italian word meaning smooth. So we want to try to connect the notes as much as possible. And there's a few little tricks to doing that, and I'll point those out as we go along. But as we lead off into this song, it's based out of the key of E minor. Okay, it's got that sad E minor sound, which is probably why Banjo Billy insisted on going into Foggy Mountain breakdown. We won't talk about that anymore. He's received some punishment and a good talking to. But we're going to start out down here on the first fret of our low D string and go right into that E minor position, okay, which is our middle finger down here and our ring finger up here. And we're going to measure 2. That second note that we play there, that pinch, that's a half note. That'll get 2 beats. So if you're counting this, which is very important to count, starting in measure 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now measure 3, we've got just 2 half notes that get 2 beats apiece. You can tell they're half notes because the stems are broken. Okay. If the stems you see there leading down from the notes, if they're broken and they don't go all the way down through the notes, that mean or through the ledger lines, that means they're half notes. So measure 3, they get 2 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I will end up doing is I want this low E note to keep ringing out through measure 3. So I will use my ring finger to play both that second fret on the top string, and then I'll move it down to play that second fret on the G string. So starting from the beginning, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Measure 4, we're going to do a hammer on from the open G string to the second fret. We're going to shift up a fret and use our index finger to do this hammer on. And that's 2 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Land on that 4th fret down there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 5 is very simple, just 2 half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I want you to get in your partial C position, where we have our middle finger on the 2nd fret down here on the low D string, our index on the 1st fret of the B string, and we're going to pick that for a half note. 1, 2. And then we're going to keep your middle finger down. You can release your index for this slide in the last part of measure 6. We're going to slide from 2nd to 4th fret. And that's a quarter note slide, so those get 1 beat apiece. So measure 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now measure 7, we're going to start getting into some melodic stuff, but it's going slow enough that you should be able to pick it up, even if you hadn't played any melodic stuff in the past. But we're starting out with just our open G and B strings. These are all quarter notes in measure 7. They get 1 beat apiece. 1, 2. Then we're going to move up and with our ring finger grab the 7th fret of the low D string, and at the same time with our index finger grab that 5th fret of the G string. So that measure 7 sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now measure 8, pay attention because the first note of that measure is played with our index finger as well. So we have to play 2 index fingers in a row coming into measure 8. We release at that point when we get to measure 8, and I want you to grab the 3rd fret of the B string with your index finger, and we're going to do another quarter note slide from 3rd to 4th fret. And then I want you to bar the 4th fret right underneath it of that B string. See how I do that? And the reason why I want you to bar is because our very next note is way up here on the 7th fret. We have to stretch with our pinky to get it. So if you didn't bar, it would just be tougher to stretch up there. Okay, then that 7th fret gets 2 beats as well. Okay, then we're going to move up the neck, and we're going to do a little bit of single string picking here. It's not tough, but on the 3rd beat of measure 8, we're going to start on the 7th fret of the G string. 3, 4. Notice that I used my index finger right after my thumb. And then slide into that 10th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're sliding into the 10th fret to give it that first beat. Then we play this 9th fret up there on the 1st string. That's a half note, so it gets 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Measure 11. We're going to keep these fingers in the same spot. We're going to play this 9th fret up here again for 2 beats. 1, 2, then shift everything down 2 frets and pinch these 2 7th frets for 2 beats. Good. And then we're just going to do another little melodic run, but we're going to have to shift positions for measure 12. And what I want you to do is bar the 7th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings there with your index finger, and we're going to do a backwards roll. Good. And leave those down as we go into measure 13. We're going to land with our ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string for a half note. Okay. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second 2 beats of measure 13, we release and it's open. Then we go to another melodic position. And this one we're going to, on the 5th frets of the G and B string, we're going to use our middle and our ring finger for those 2 notes. And with our index finger, we're going to grab the 4th fret of that 1st string. Okay? And so measure 14 sounds like this. Pretty simple. Then measure 15, we're going to start out with an open G string, and that's going to give us time to shift up again to barring those 7th frets, just like we saw in measure 12. And then this is maybe the toughest part of the whole song, because what I want you to do is reach over with your thumb and grab this 8th fret of the 5th string, while holding these down. And then we're going to land on 16. I've still got everything held down. And we're going to land there on the 9th fret. If you can't reach over and grab that 8th fret, that's okay. Just play the first 3 notes to that measure. Just make that 3rd note and measure 15 a half note. And don't worry about that 8th fret over the top. And it would sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so when we come back down in 16, we're going to use our middle finger to cover that 9th fret on the G string. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now when I hit that 8th fret and measure 17, you notice that my position is still held down, and that's to keep the resonance going. So up to speed, you'll hear what I'm talking about. So this note's still ringing out, this note's still ringing out. Good. Now we're going to shift positions a little bit there at the end of measure 17. Let's take a look at that.